You're listening here live on the coolest of the cool, the Koolykool Show. Your host, Brent. We're kicking it live on this Wednesday evening or night. Live here. You're listening to here live on the coolest of the cool, the Koolykool Show. Your host, Brent, kicking it here live from coast to coast, to north to south, and even maybe in Antarctica. Hope you're listening, even if you're in Antarctica. Yes, you're listening here live on the coolest of the cool, the Koolykool Show. Your host, Brent. Thank you, and I'm very appreciative you're listening here on the coolest show around here on the coolest of the cool, the Koolykool Show. Yay! Yay! There we go. There we go. There we go. Nice. So, you're listening here live on the coolest of the cool, the Koolykool Show. My name is Brent, the host. Be sure to follow us on our social media platforms. You can find us also on TikTok, the Koolykool Show, where I do some videos there. You can also follow me on my YouTube channel, the Koolykool Show. You can also, I do post updates on when I'm going to go live and let people know where I'm going live. I post it on Twitter. You can follow me there at Koolykool2412. And like I said, I can post what times and what dates. I'm getting really good at this, and it seems the Wednesdays and Fridays and Sundays are my good nights that I really do post a lot. So I might be coming out shortly where I post up, say, hey, catch me on these certain days throughout the week. That's when I'm going to be going live. Also, to let you guys know also that once my podcast is done, my podcast is automatically uploaded to my YouTube channel, the Koolykool Show. So, without further ado, let's go and get into tonight's discussion on this September 8th, 2021. And if you haven't been told already, hope you're having a good day. Hope you had a good day. You are special. Just let you know, everybody is unique and different in every way. So, let's get on with tonight's topic for discussion. I labeled this episode, it's actually episode 25, and this episode is titled Conspiracy Theories Untold. Yes, Conspiracy Theories Untold. Maybe. I guess. I don't know. Whatever kind of conspiracy theories I can come up with my mind with, or something that can format as far as my imagination to think that something might be different or allude to something grander in scale than what we are told or believe could be, the work of others, seemingly behind the man behind the curtain. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. If you know where that's from, it's from The Wizard of Oz. So, yeah, that movie's pretty good. I'm pretty sure that movie in itself, along with the production of the original one, the black and white version, that movie did have a lot of issues as far as, I'm not gonna say issues, but a lot of mysterious things that did come about from that movie. I don't know. It was people almost, I'm not sure if somebody was killed on that set, but there's a lot of things that did happen, a lot of strange occurrences that happened. So, I don't know. I mean, that in itself could be a good topic for that, but I don't know too much about it. I just know on certain tiny bits, and that's like the little bit that I do know, which is what I just said. So, I mean, I'm not trying to be, mean to anybody who who really loves the Wizard of Oz movie, and I'm not trying to let you know. I'm just saying it's the furthest extent I know. I seen it when I was a kid. I think it's one of those American cult classic movies that if you haven't seen it, you're kind of going to be questioned as far as the validity, whether or not you're an actual person or a human being. Because majority of people have seen The Wizard of Oz. It's, like I said, it's a kind of cult classic that you'd have to have watched growing up as a kid. It's one of those movies that your parents put on for you, so that way you can say, hey, shut up and just watch this. And you're in tune to it, because how else you hear about the Wicked Witch? Oh, you're being the Wicked Witch of the West, Wicked Witch of the East, flying monkeys, the Tin Man, the lion that needs the lion needs a brain? No, it was the Scarecrow that needs a brain. And then the Tin Man needed a heart, and the lion needed courage. That's right. There you go. And then Alice was her red shoes and click them 3 times and just carries her home. And the dog Toto, I think it's the right Toto. I'm guessing. I can't remember. It's been a while. Like I said, that's American movie classic. It's a cult classic. Thus, as was it A Christmas Story? Christmas is a couple months away. That's another a movie cult classic that you don't have to watch it every day or watch it sporadically. It's one of those movies you watch periodically during the holiday. You'll know it's going to come, because when Christmas hits, Christmas Day, that movie plays nonstop for 24 hours. You find whatever channel it's on, it's going to mostly likely be on one of your cable networks that shows it, and they play it all day, the whole day. So that way you get a dose of the Christmas Story. But if you watch it any other time other than Christmas, you're kind of subjecting yourself to kind of like you're on the level of something's not right with you a little bit, because it's one of those days you don't want to overdo it. That's my opinion in the whole realm of speaking about this, I guess, but I don't know. But like I said, this topic is conspiracy theories untold. Maybe. So, there's a lot of things going on in the news. I did a lot of research, not much research, but I did read a lot of couple articles today in the news. I'm just going to briefly go over a couple of them, and some of this is going to probably run into a certain conspiracy theory that I do have in reference to a lot of stuff that's going on. Obviously, in the past couple of weeks, if you listen to my podcast, I've been talking briefly and extensively about trouble in Afghanistan. Yes, trouble in Afghanistan. Reason why it's a hot topic, and it's a lot surrounding it, and maybe, just maybe, there might be some different things surrounding what is going on in reference to the whole incident and things that happened in Afghanistan. So that's a very hot topic, so to speak. Just putting it out there. So I was reading in the article The Guardian, and apparently, I guess, since the Taliban's taken over and running things their own way, the government way, their own government way, which is whatever way they're running it. The article had read that Afghan women to be banned from playing sport. Taliban say. This is what it is. Now, you're probably wondering what I'm talking about, where I'm going with this, as far as they're saying that Afghan women cannot play any sports. This is what's kind of coming off. But what the article entails and goes into, it basically states that a national cricket team is prohibited as intern government containing no women start work. I didn't really understand that, but from what I gathered from the whole thing is, I guess they're not allowing women to be able to play on the national cricket team for Afghanistan, and they're solely leaving that to the males and Afghan men. So basically, I think they've taken that away from the Afghan women. If I had read it right, and I believe I have read it right, but it's kind of one of those things. I'm reading it, but I'm kind of like, did I just really read what I just read? And is that even kind of accurate as far as what I had just read? But there has been a lot of talk as far as previous that since the Taliban has taken over, that they plan on doing is taking certain rights of Afghan women. And this has been told, and the media has picked up on it, but you kind of wonder what else, or what were they going to do as far as the women in their country. Obviously, they just wanted to, they don't want an even playing field as far as the equality in the country, as far as for what we've been told so far, things that happen in the media. So, another part had said the deputy head of the Taliban's Cultural Commission. Yeah, if you just read the deputy head of the Taliban's Cultural Commission. So apparently they have a cultural commission. Ahmadullah Wasia said women's sport was considered neither appropriate nor necessary. Yes, so I did happen to, my thoughts was, I was saying, is basically they're trying to prohibit women from playing certain sports, and this one was mostly talking about playing cricket. With, if you know, in the Europe area, in the Middle Eastern area, cricket is kind of one of the more popular sports that is played in those countries. That speaks a lot of volumes, considering they say they want everything to kind of be in the even, not even until they never said that, but more or less be on a kind of, we're going to have it like this, we're going to do it like this, we're not going to do this, but then they're kind of integrating their own rule and change into what they want, which is kind of like a dictatorship, but they're not really saying who their leader is. Just saying. So, and then it also went on, said they carefully worded statement noted the cabinet was interim, but the Taliban would be held to their promise to give goes on to something else. Safe passage to foreign nationals and Afghans. That article I just read, it was actually talking about as far as any other personnel from any other foreigners from their country would give safe passage to be able to leave Afghanistan without having, fall any ill will or harm to them as they are to leaving their country. This is what they're putting out in the media. Do we know exactly to a full extent what the truth of the validity of this? No, none of us are ever going to know. We're only getting from what the media is told, and obviously the media could actually tell us a two different sided story of what they're actually saying. So, when I mean two different side story, this is where it could be the Taliban is not said any of this and are kind of up on the fences like, we've never said anything like this. But then you have somebody perpetrating or acting a spokesman for the Taliban and trying to stir something up or trying to sound good for them that they're doing certain things, when this is by like a third party that's illustrating all this. So that maybe could be what's going on. We don't know. We're just being told from what I'm reading here. What I've read, this is what is being kind of format or given to the general public. And like I said, this is where there is a ton of people behind the curtain in reference to all the situation that's going on. So this kind of goes into the lore of there's something not stirring the Kool-Aid. Also, I had read another article. NBC News had said, this is one of the kind of different ones. For China, Taliban rule in Afghanistan brings both opportunity and risk. I tried to read it, but it didn't really elaborate too much what's going on. But then I did read another article from Reuters. China says U.S. and allies have a duty to aid Afghanistan. China's foreign minister Wang Yi said the United States and its allies have more of a duty to supply economic and humanitarian aid to Afghanistan than any other country. according to the statement from the Foreign Ministry on Wednesday. Sovereignty and independence, in quotations. That has a lot to say. So I'm trying to figure this out. And this is where a lot of thought goes into, who's really making the decisions and who's saying what is truthful, or who's saying what needs to be said, or who's saying things on the spur, on the fly. I mean, this is kind of weird, as far as China's foreign minister saying that the United States and our allies should supply economic and humanitarian aid to Afghanistan. And I can see where they're coming from, considering they say we were there for the past 20 years, and for being there in the country for the past 20 years and having had conflict with the Taliban in the country of Afghanistan, we should be kind of held responsible to continue helping and aiding the Afghanistan people. Since we went in there, we were doing certain reconstructions, and then at this point in time, over a period of time, since we were there for a long amount of time, 20 years, and then now we've already withdrawn and left, we should still continue our end of the bargain in order to keep Afghanistan and help them out, especially during this time where the COVID coronavirus is worldwide. This is where, like I said, it's very difficult to find out where a lot of people are on the fence with this. And, like I said, you have one part where China's saying this, and in their eyes, it kind of could make sense. But then you have along the lines of, as far as America, who's been there for 20 years, when we went in there distinctly to stop a terrorist organization held solely responsible for the terrorist attacks that happened on 9/11 at the World Trade Center in New York. We went in to go after a terrorist organization, and thus we did that with the assistance and help from our allies and the Afghanistan government and the Afghan people, in order to get the Taliban and to get them to stop and to disrupt their whole operation as far as conducting certain terrorist acts against the United States and our allies and other surrounding countries. So, in the midst of having been there for 20 years, we did supply them economically. We did. And we did help them out humanitarily. We did do a lot of good in order to help the Afghanistan people. We supplied them with medical treatment, new medical care, advanced treatments that they did not have prior to us having going to Afghanistan. So we did our part. We did. And along the lines, we've trained their military. We've trained their police force. We did a lot of things to be able to have Afghanistan and the people in Afghanistan, the Afghan people, along with the Afghan government, we taught them and trained them and teach them how to be self-sufficient in order to stand up and stand able for themselves. And we've obviously saw in the past 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago, as far as the outcome and the result of what we did for 20 years, having been in the country, having done all these things, we did support and aid this country. But then, within a matter of just days, the country fell to that terrorist organization, which has now taken over Afghanistan, and now is at the table, at the negotiating table, making demands. And pretty much, I mean, like I said, they're making demands, but they're not making, as far as we know, they're not making terrorist demands. They're making demands as far as trying to change things, and they're trying to work with their neighboring countries and to showcase the world. So, like I said before, if you had listened to my podcast before, this is a very, very kind of strange way that things are going about, because you have a known terrorist organization that has been known to utilize terrorist acts in order to send their message across. But now, considering the fact that now they own and are operating and control all of Afghanistan. Now they're at the dinner table, not demanding, but what they're doing is now it seems like the calm of the storm is came, and now everything seems to be subsided. It seems like they've accomplished their main goal mission, is to take back their country in a certain way that they wanted to from the beginning. And in the beginning, they end up having to do certain acts that made them, to the rest of the world, look as the bad guy, but into their eyes, they're like, no, we did this to accomplish our mission as far as what we wanted from the country. So it could be kind of like I'm just saying, this could be like a common two-way. This is where, like I said, this show is about conspiracy theories untold, maybe, because a lot of things you kind of trying to figure out where this thing is going. And then, like I said, you have China, who's actually been very active in as far as involvement in what's going on with Afghanistan. So there is a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of, things that we are not being fully told on. Why is this such a hot topic in the news? Why is certain things going on? And I had said before in my last podcast, it's kind of funny. Excuse me. It's kind of funny that as Afghanistan is going about their way, and as the Taliban's taking over, they have military equipment, they have military gear, they have military certain types of supplies that's been left over in their country. They have military aircraft, vehicles. And if you had noticed in the news that they're wearing things that are American made, they have M16s, A2s, and they have Blackhawks, like the aircrafts, and they're flying this stuff. And it's been shown. So it's kind of like, who were we training the entire time? And what does this do as far as what was the main objective and or goal? It really kind of can make you really think about where and what was the overall mission while we were in Afghanistan. And this is after the fact of us trying to dismantle the initial terrorist organization. So, I just have a theory. This is one of my theories, and one of my conspiracy theories is, I don't even know if it's conspiracy. More or less, it's kind of like a thought process. It's like, did we train Afghanistan, the people in Afghanistan, and the Afghanistan government, the Afghanistan police, the Afghanistan military, did we train them in order and only to get duped by a long-gated plan that was sought out from the beginning? So that way they could take the knowledge and skills that we were to pass on to their people, are not affiliated with the terrorist organization. And then 20 years down the line, now they have the know-how. Now they know that America was going to go give them certain things, give them training, supplies, techniques, tactics, and help them economically. Which, economically, I'm not sure where the financial part comes to play, because they have had a lot of issues and they still continue to do. And I'm not sure if we're going to see a lot more change. But was this all a ploy for them to be able to, self-sufficient themselves in a different motive, a different light? I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I can, in my head, I'm thinking it right. In my head, I can see it. But there's just too many unknowns as far as what's going on. I don't know. I'm going to leave it at that, and we're going to move on to a different type of conspiracy, because we could talk about this all day long, and we all could sit here, confused as hell. But I'm just saying, there's a lot more stuff that we're not going to be told, and there's a lot more stuff that's probably going to be coming up in the coming weeks and or months as far as regards to Afghanistan. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's going to probably divulge and come out, and we're going to eventually start piecing the pieces, putting the puzzles together and piecing it along to get the overall picture. Though out of like 1,000 puzzle piece, we're going to be missing a few over here and a few over here, but we're going to end up eventually getting the general idea of what the picture is. That's what I think is probably going to happen. I mean, that's my mindset. That's what I think. But let's go on to another conspiracy theory. Let's go to another thought process, another one that maybe we can talk about and figure and chime in to see what in the world is going on. Now, I said it before, over the summer we had talked so much about the UFOs and the UABs, and no one's talking about it anymore. No one is talking about the, Pentagon's UAB official report on whether or not aliens truly do exist. And like I said before, we were going to get a general answer to people's questions on whether or not we are alone in the universe, whether there are aliens, whether we've been visited, whether they're, like I said before, I don't know. There's a couple people around here I think is some aliens, because mother freakers don't act right half the goddamn time, and some people are strange, So, but it's kind of like over the beginning of summer, everybody was hyped up and everybody wanted to know, and the media was all hyped into wanted to know, do aliens exist? We're going to find out. And then once we found out, we got the generic answer. Everybody's kind of accepted it and just kind of moved on from it. Maybe it's because it's not enough buzz. No one's talking about it. No one really needs to want to talk about it. I mean, at this point in time, do you think really people really care? I mean, until the event of maybe, if it ever happens, which probably may never, is an actual true alien invasion, or there's actually, I put it this way, instead of us having to constantly see UFOs, I'm not going to call them UABs. I grew up calling them UFOs. I'll say it maybe for political reasons, but I'm going to call it UFOs. But until the point where we stop seeing people say, oh, it's a UFO flying around. I think until the aliens actually, decide to bring their asses and walk around on, down 95, or go into the mall or go into the store or stop their spaceship and go to the gas station and say, hey, what's going on? I'm getting some gas real quick. You know what I'm saying? Until we actually get footage of actual aliens walking and about with us in our everyday activity and things that we do, then I think people will be more interested into the fact that, oh, UFOs and aliens, okay. But we always constantly keep seeing and hearing about is, oh, I saw something in the sky and it took off fast and it darted and this and that, and then, oh, the aliens came in the middle of the night and they found me and they said, hey, how you doing? And then you'd be like, did you get a camera? No. And it seems like no one ever has a video camera to actually ever capture an actual alien or the sightings of aliens. So all we get is a person telling us. So, and we live in the digital era, folks. The digital era where cameras, cell phones, security cameras. We live in this era where at a point in time you would have caught an alien walking by, going into your refrigerator, making a sandwich. Okay? But all we see is these grainy films with, like I said, grainy films. And we have HD, HD cameras. Our phones have tremendous clarity on pictures. And we always get a grainy film of an alien or a spaceship in the sky. And then it's so far off in the distance, we kind of say, it's an unidentified object. Can you zoom in? I'm trying to zoom in, but I can't really zoom in. This is what we're getting. But like I said, no one's really talking about it anymore. The buzz, the latest hipness, the UFO, the aliens kind of buzz, the things going on. It's not no one's talking about it. Everybody just want to leave it alone. Everybody's satisfied as far as the answers they got from the Pentagon. As far as, can't dismiss it. We can't, confirm it. But this is maybe something. I don't know. That's the general. That's just like saying, what kind of bug is that? I don't know. It was flying around. Do you know what? I can tell you it's some type of bug that has wings and it's flying, obviously. But I can't tell you exactly what it is because I really don't know what type of bug it is. That's the type of generic answer we got. And like I said, it's done fell under the wayside so much. It's like no one cares. No one wants to talk about it. And then if they try to talk about it, they just go into something else and they talk about, hey, he's doing this. Coronavirus. And just start going off stuff. So it's quite different. It's quite different, folks. Quite different. So, coming a little bit at the halfway point. So what I'm going to do is going to take a break real quick. I'm going to go get something to drink, as I always say to my halfway point. I'm going to go get something to drink. Stay with us. We got some more to talk about on this conspiracy theory, Untold. Maybe. So, stick with us real quick. I'm going to go get something to drink, and be back for some more of the coolest of the cool, the Koolykool Show. So, stick with us. Be right back. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and by the way, this is called the song by Far Away, Hot 100. Be right back here on the Koolykool Show. Back here live on the coolest of the cool, the Koolykool Show. Your host, Brent. Make sure that you follow us on our social media platforms. You can follow us also on TikTok. I do a couple videos and shows there on my TikTok show. It's called the Koolykool Show. You can also follow us on my YouTube channel called the Koolykool Show. You can also follow on Twitter at Koolykool2412, where I post certain updates on when I'm going live, and T-minus is going to be going live soon. Also, I've got certain dates that I've been working at to actually go live, and it's more or less looking Wednesdays nights, and Friday nights, and a Sunday night vibes, which is also a good one that I like to do. So I'll be probably posting something pretty up saying, hey, that I'm coming out or on that. So, oh, yeah, I also forgot. You can also follow me on Instagram at Brent the Champ. All right. So, back to the topic at hand that we were talking about, which is our topic titled Conspiracy Theories. Untold. Maybe. So, we just got finished talking about is UFOs, aliens, and whether or not they're the whole deal. Why they've just been chilling, for the past whatever umpteen times. So, but let's kind of go ahead and kind of shift it a little different. The New York Post had put something out just this evening, and it says, this is talking about the NYPD, and it says, if it's vaccine or test for NYPD or go home without pay. Don't know how really true the validity of this story is, but the way things have been going, and as far as what their mayor has implemented in his executive order, it says, and it goes in detail, unvaccinated members of the NYPD will soon have to provide a negative COVID-19 test or be sent home without pay, the Post has learned. So, end quote. That's basically from the New York Post. That's very what they had said, which, also on the border part, it says, which fall in line with Mayor Bill de Blasio. I can't pronounce his name. Executive on coronavirus protocols for the city workers in response to the highly contagious Delta variant go into effect on Monday. I don't know whether they meant this Monday, Labor Day, or they mean Monday next week. But so, if that is what I'm understanding to be, as from what I just read, meaning that the NYPD, New York Police Department, is having to tell their members that if they don't get their vaccination shot, the COVID vaccine, that they're going to have to provide a COVID-19 test result to show that they are negative for the coronavirus. And if they don't show any paperwork stating that they're negative for the COVID-19, so negative for the COVID-19 tests, they're going to be sent home and not paid for, I guess, that period of time until they can provide proper documentation to say that they either got the vaccination shot, have their vaccine card, and or have a negative test result for COVID-19. That's kind of, and plus they not get paid also, that kind of hits hard a little bit, because the fact that on top of that, I mean, it takes about maybe about, I think the test results come in really kind of quick, but you never know. I mean, some of these tests could be kind of sent off, but then the actual part of it, the test, you wouldn't find out till like a couple, 2-3 days later. So that's a very hard one still. I don't know, but isn't their mayor the one was talking about go get some, some burgers from Shake Shack and fries? Oh no, and he was eating, and then he was on TV from the other day, from when I saw him in the videos, he was eating some pepperoni pizza. I don't know, but that pepperoni pizza looked good though. That was the kind of pepperoni pizza that you go to the bar after you go from the club, and you get your slice of pizza, kind of thin, but it's got that greasiness, and that's all that non-healthy shit that tastes good as hell. So I don't know what's going on, but that pizza looked good, and when he was eating the fries looked good too. So I don't know. So, I got another one for you. China's Chang'e 5 orbiter this is on Space News. China's Chang'e 5 orbiter is heading back to the moon. China's moon sampling mission, the spacecraft, is continuing in its extended mission with the destination currently unknown. Apparently Chang'e 5 picked up 1.731 kilograms of lunar. If you know what lunar is, that's a moon dust, moon rocks. I don't even think it's moon dust or sand in the moon. Why are we still messing around with the moon? I don't know, man. I mean, we messing around with stuff on the moon, man. Look, we went there during the 60s, and we found that there ain't a damn thing on the moon, man. So why are we still messing with the moon? And then people says, oh, we're going to Mars. Why are we messing with going to Mars too? It's not like the person who goes to Mars is coming back. They just might as well just say, give me a couple this and that, and let me self-sufficient. As a matter of fact, bring some honeys, and bring all types of this, bring me some automobile, whatever, because you're the only person living there. That's a big thing. And plus, it's going to take what? It's going to take like 6 months to a year to get to Mars. Something like, I don't know, man. It just seems to the way of sci-fi is starting to go pretty good. Gives you that thought process. I'm still actually looking for any information on Bigfoot. If you do know the whereabouts of Bigfoot, I heard, I thought he lived in Montana, but I don't know. So I'm just still wondering. No one talks about Bigfoot anymore. I guess Bigfoot is no longer existing. His cousin, the abominable snowman, lives in the Himalayas. So if you do know any news about Bigfoot or the abominable snowman, please send a message. Let me know. Would like an update, and if he would like to do an interview. So thank you. So I'm just quite curious. God darn it. It's all right to be curious, I guess. So it is, I guess. So that song means Under Your Spell by Desire. That song means we're coming to the end of this show of the Koolest the Kool, the Koolykool Show, here live on this Wednesday night. And yes, I want you guys to think about the Koolykool Show. I want you to pass this across from coast to coast, from north to south. Let everybody know. Tell them I talk about anything and everything and pretty much crazy stuff. But if it's entertaining and it keeps you coming back for more, then I guess you are under my spell, which is a good thing because I like to entertain. So stick with me again for another episode coming from soon. Like I said, I've got it narrowed down where I'm actually probably going to go do this more on the certain days that I'm coming to, which is going to be Wednesday nights, Friday nights, and Sunday night, which I always call it Sunday Night Vibe. So definitely be sure to follow me on my social media platform. You can follow me at my TikTok channel, The Koolykool Show. You can follow me at my YouTube channel, The Koolykool Show. Or you can follow me on Twitter where I still post up updates on when I'm going to go live, and that's Koolykool2412. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Brent the Champ. So, once again, as I always say at the end of my show, thank you for listening, and I hope you come back for some more, and I hope that you were entertained here, live on the Koolest of the Kool, the Koolykool Show. Have a good day. See ya.
God, I hope so.